May 7th, 2019. Just got back to Texas from several weeks in Tallahassee, Florida, doing Hurricane Michael recovery work, and we're looking at forestry debris. A bunch of people didn't quite understand what I was talking about when I talked about Beaver-Biomimicry, so I'm going to show you something out of my own backyard. I am trimming trees up to get a taller, straighter post. These are nothing compared to the pines that are just dominate the Panhandle of Florida. But all of the debris that I don't want, it's not marketable, I don't want to burn it, I lay it down in basically this beaver dam. It's on contour, or, very close to being on contour. It actually slopes very slightly in the direction we're walking. And if you cover the unwanted debris, forestry debris, hurricane debris, tree trimmings that you don't want and aren't marketable, and you cover them up with mulch or wood or sand or whatever you've got, you're actually making a sort of like a speed bump for water. So instead of water going right down the hill, it hits this organic berm. If you do it with enough sand in there, I really don't think it's going to catch fire, even if there is a wildfire. And you can direct it towards places like those aquifer recharge features that are all over Florida. Here I'm actually digging one because this is one of the only places on my property that I actually have soil. Most of my soil looks like this. White, caliche, not very good at growing things. I have a couple patches with better brown dirt, and I'm actually mixing the wood mulch with the brown dirt to make sort of like a top dressing for some of my other berms. So basically, this is the deal. Beaver-Biomimicry, you can take that downed woody debris and turn it into a gravity-powered irrigation system for whatever plants you're gonna put back on the landscape. It's also future flood mitigation, because if Michael brought 150 centimeters of rain instead of 150 mile-an-hour winds, we wouldn't be talking about this same problem. We'd have a huge flooding problem. So this type of activity mitigates future floods. It increases groundwater recharge. It enhances the agricultural productivity of the area over time. It sequesters carbon into the soil. It builds the health of your forestry ecosystem, your agricultural ecosystem. It also protects the groundwater that your recreational ecosystem relies on. And the water leaving this property is going to be of higher quality, so you're going to have less algae blooms, less red tide, and by keeping the groundwater tables high, you can actually mitigate saltwater intrusion, and those are all multi-million-dollar problems that you can solve by building your economy over time instead of hauling all of this debris off at substantial cost or letting it sit there and waiting for a wildfire to burn it up, because you can't solve one disaster with another. So you don't want to solve the downed woody debris of a hurricane with a giant wildfire, because then we're going to be spending tons of money to try to fight this wildfire. But instead we can turn that wildfire risk, all of the fuel in these logs, you can turn it into productivity. And some of my other videos showed better what happens if you plant that with cover crops. And I'm in Texas, where we don't get a whole lot of rain, and it's really, really hot. In the Panhandle of Florida, I think you grow all sorts of stuff in there. Tomatoes, vegetables, crops, all sorts of stuff. You name it, you can grow it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.